Hey guys, welcome back to Chess for Nerds, and today I'm here to present you a special video about my grandfather's best games. This video is a special one because it was recently my grandfather's birthday, February 1st, and I wanted to make a special video. So without any hesitation, let's get straight into it. So first off, we have e4. My grandpa's playing with the white pieces. d5, the Scandinavian defense, and my grandfather accepts the Scandinavian. Next, black takes back, and knight to c3, attacking the queen. Next, we have queen to e6 check, and blocking that with the bishop with bishop to e2. Next, we have knight to c6, developing the knight, bringing your pieces out, and same with white here, getting ready to castle here. Good ideas. Everything. So knight to f3, knight to f6, bringing out more pieces, and my grandfather castles here. Good move. Next, it's b6, preparing for possibly a fianchetto. Next, we have rook to e1, solidifying this middle line here. Next, we have queen to d7, bringing the queen back out in case of moves like this here where there's an exposure onto the queen. So next we have bishop to b5, then attacking the knight. Then we have the fianchetto I was talking about, and now we have d3, making an open diagonal for this bishop over here. Now we have e6, knight to e5, attacking here, here, and here. Next we have queen to d6, avoiding the attack, and d4, protecting the knight. Now we have knight to d7, and queen to f3, attacking on the c6 square even more. Next we have knight to a5, and we have queen takes f7 check. This is a great attacking move because my grandfather's opponent made a mistake here, loosened up the area around his king. So now queen takes f7 check, king to d8, and now the killing move here, bishop takes d7. Here, of course, there are different ways to go, but black is down by 4. So it's really bad, but black makes another mistake here by taking the bishop. And I think that you all could spot the mate here. Mate in one, very simple. It is queen to d7, check and mate. What a beautiful game. Great attacks. It was also about how he loved the King's Gambit. So here it is yet again. So the black accepts the gambit. Here we have knight to f3, classic. g5, I'm pretty sure this is like the Quaid gambit or something. But here we have c4, bishop to c4, developing our bishop and bringing it out. Next we have h6, making a connect 3 over here with these 3 pawns. Next we have knight to e5, setting up something over here with the bishop and the knight attacking the f7 square. Next we have d6, attacking the knight, but that's a big mistake, and my grandpa's already up because he gets a fork on the queen and the rook. So the queen comes out to protect the rook over here. That's a good thing, but still a mistake because my grandpa captures the rook and the queen captures the knight. Now my grandpa's up by 2 points of material. Next we have queen to h5 check, and we have king to d7. Next we have queen to f7 check, bishop to e7, bishop to e6 check. Lots of attacking here. Now we have king to c6. We have bishop takes c8, taking the other bishop after making a small pin here. Next we have knight to f6, bringing it out, bringing it to somewhere hopefully safe. Next we have queen to c4 check. It's a good check because it attacks the king, and the king doesn't have many squares to move. It only has one spot, which is on b6, whereas exactly where the king goes. Next we have queen to b4 check. Not looking for a repetition here. That would be bad because my grandpa knows that he's up by a lot. So we have bishop takes b7 check, making another fork with the bishop and the king here. The king moves away. My grandfather takes the rook over here, and there is queen to c8. We have bishop to b7. Good move, attacking the queen and not allowing the king to escape over here. Next we have queen to d8. We have d3, opening up something small for the bishop on c1. Next we have d5. I'm not sure what this move is all about. And we have queen to a4 check, attacking the king yet again. King to e6. Pawn takes d5. Next we have we have knight takes d5 and queen to e4 check, attacking the king yet again. We have king to d6 and queen takes d5 check and mate. This game was decided from the very start after one small mistake somewhere back here where the opponent allowed my grandfather to get a fork here. So let's move on to the last final game. Aggressive line here, and e takes d5. Next we have queen takes d5 and knight to c3, attacking the queen. Next we have queen to h5, moving away and setting a small little pin here through the knight. Next we have bishop to e2, bishop to e7, castles, and bishop to g4. Here, strengthening the little diagonal over here with the queen. Next we have d4, knight to f6, bishop takes f4, taking the pawn over here. Next we have bishop to d6, bringing out the bishop. Next, bishop takes that bishop, and it's a small little trade here. Next we have bishop to b5 check. It's a good check. The king has to move closer towards a back rank checkmate, basically. Here, knight blocks on d7. Here we have queen to e1 check. That's really good because although the knight is protecting the other knight, the king does have to move out of the way. Next we have king to d8, and now queen to g3. Next we have rook to e8, and queen takes d6, already capitalizing with 1 point of extra material. Next we have rook to c8, h3, attacking the bishop over here. Next we have bishop takes f3, and rook takes f3, basically shutting down the whole attack here. Next we have rook takes c3, bishop takes d7, knight takes d7, exchange, but that's a really bad move here because the rook takes the other rook, up by 3 points of material, and now the other queen has nothing to do but to attack the rook here and protect near the king. Next we have rook to f1, rook to e6, attacking the queen over here. Next we have queen to g3, queen to d5, queen takes g7, rook to g6, forcing the queen somewhere back here or here, forcing the queen basically into the corner, which happens. Queen to h8 check. Next, king to e7, and rook to e1 check, forcing the king with lots of checks to different places. Next, king to d6, rook to e2, f6, not freeing out the queen here. Next, we have queen takes h7, queen takes d4 check, and king to h1, hiding the king in the corner with lots of protection such as the rooks and the pawns. Next, queen to d1 check, king to h2, queen takes e2, taking the rook here, and queen takes g6, exchanging rooks. Next, we have queen to e5 check. We have the queen sliding back to g3 to protect the king, and also making a pin here. This formation looks a bit funny, with both queens basically being in the same situation. Next, we have knight to c5. Queen takes e5, checking the opposing king. Pawn takes e5, exchanging the queens, bringing them off the board. And rook takes c5, basically getting rid of everything, since my grandfather knows that he has an advantage on the G and H columns here. Next, we have king to g3, king to d4, king to f3, e4 check on the king, e2, b5, pushing the pawn, g4, pushing the pawn to e5, trying to come back and stop the two pawns over here. Next, king to e3, a5, h4, and my grandfather's opponent resigns because there is nothing to do here, because these pawns are overpowering the two pawns here. There is no way for this pawn to get past the king. And yeah, basically the king can't catch up to both these pawns while also stopping the three pawns over here. So yeah, happy birthday to my grandfather. I wish you all the best, and thank you all for watching. Bye bye.